You know that feeling? When it's late, everything's quiet, you're alone, and just this deep sense of unease starts creeping in. Maybe it's a noise you can't place, or you catch something weird out of the corner of your eye.
Or just that chilling feeling someone's watching, even when you know nobody's there.
Exactly. That moment, the normal world just twists into something terrifying. That's kind of what we're exploring today. We're going to walk you through 3 true stories, really unsettling accounts from people who ran into something, well, inexplicable.
And these aren't just campfire tales. These are real events, things that genuinely happened and left a deep mark on the people involved.
Right. Our goal here isn't just to tell you the stories, but to sort of feel that creeping dread with them, the moments of absolute terror, and think about those questions that just hang in the air afterwards. Why do these things stick with us so much? Okay, so let's start with the first one. We're calling it The Farmhouse Intruder. It's about this older guy, a welder, worked the trade for over 40 years.
Wow, long time.
Yeah. Living alone now on this big farm, his wife, Maria, passed away some years back. The house is huge for just him and his dog, Bosley, but, you know, he couldn't leave.
Too many memories, I imagine.
Must be. His kids are grown, moved away, so it's just him and the dog. He gets into this routine, late night walks around the property, finds some peace in the quiet, I guess. So one night, long day in the shop, he's walking back to the house, Bosley right there with him. He glances up, second floor window.
Okay.
It was Maria's old room. He hadn't been in there, not really, since she died. And just for a second, he swears he sees movement, like a flicker, then nothing. He stops, stares, and his first thought isn't ghost, it's intruder. Pure anger. Someone's in his house.
Right, the protective instinct.
Totally. He bolts inside, heart hammering, runs upstairs, flings the door open, room's empty, untouched. Exactly like he left it years ago.
Nothing out of place.
Nothing. Checks closets, under the bed, everywhere. Zip. He feels, you know, kind of foolish. But still, that feeling just won't shake. Something was there. How fast does that feeling change, you know? From annoyance to real dread.
Oh, it's incredibly fast. And it's a classic pattern, really. We try to dismiss these little anomalies at first, right? A shadow, a creak.
Yeah, rationalize it away.
Exactly. But when they keep happening or escalate, it directly hits our basic need for safety. That mental switch flips from that's odd to this is wrong, this is personal, this is in my home. And that's when simple unease becomes real terror. Our homes are supposed to be sanctuaries. When that's violated by something you can't explain.
Yeah, it messes with your head.
Profoundly.
Yeah.
Your brain struggles to categorize it, leading to that hypervigilance, that feeling of an unseen presence.
Which is exactly what happens next. The following night, it ramps up. He wakes up, and Bosley is growling, low in his chest. Apparently, Bosley's usually a super calm dog.
Okay, so the dog senses it too. That's significant.
Right. Then he hears it. Footsteps, creaking, clear as day, right above his bedroom.
From Maria's room.
From Maria's room. He thinks about grabbing his hunting rifle, but then, this pride kicks in. He thinks, no, I can handle this myself.
Bit risky, maybe.
Maybe. He goes up again, flashlight out, checks the room. Again, nothing, absolutely empty. But now, the anger. It's definitely shifting, turning into this, gnawing anxiety. What does that do to you psychologically when you know something's happening but there's zero proof?
That's incredibly taxing. When your own senses, your own experience tells you one thing, but all the physical evidence says another, it creates this huge internal conflict, cognitive dissonance.
Right.
You start questioning yourself. Am I imagining things? Am I going crazy? Especially when there's no one else to validate it. No break-in window, no footprints. It's isolating. And that isolation just feeds the anxiety and that hypervigilance we talked about. The threat feels constant because you can't pin it down.
Then, night 3. He comes downstairs in the morning, kitchen lights are on, and he knows 100% he turned them off before bed.
Good, that's different. That's physical evidence.
That's the moment. No more doubt. Someone or something is definitely getting into his house. Panic. Real panic sets in. He calls the police.
Wily.
They come out, do a thorough search. Top to bottom, attic, basement, everything.
And
nothing. Again, they're polite, professional, but he can just tell. They think he's maybe a lonely old guy hearing things.
Yeah, that polite skepticism, which almost makes it worse sometimes.
Totally. But the absolute worst night that was still coming. He can't sleep. Just lying there listening. He decides, okay, one more check. Just to try and put his mind at ease. Goes back to Maria's room, opens the door, and just freezes. Her clothes. The ones he packed away after she died. They're everywhere. Pulled out of boxes, scattered all over the floor.
Oh, wow. That's personal. Deeply violating.
It wasn't just random messing around. This felt targeted. And then he sees her in the doorway, a woman, short, just standing there, staring at him.
Not Maria.
Not Maria, just a stranger. He said he'd never felt fear like that. Pure, primal terror. He doesn't even think. He just runs at her, yelling.
Adrenaline kicks in.
She turns, bolts down the stairs, out the front door. He chases her outside, Bosley barking like mad, but she's gone. Vanished into the night. Dog can't pick up a scent.
That escalation from sounds to physical evidence to actual confrontation. But the disturbance of Maria's clothes, that takes it beyond a simple break-in, doesn't it?
How so?
It's attacking memory. It's attacking grief. When someone messes with the belongings of a deceased loved one, it's not just about stuff anymore. It's a violation of something sacred, something deeply personal. It magnifies the trauma immensely because the sanctuary of memory itself feels tainted. That kind of act can cause really intense, lasting psychological scars, far beyond just feeling unsafe in your house.
And it sounds like it did. For months after, he basically didn't sleep. Constant edge. Convinced he was hearing footsteps every single night, every creak, every groan of the house.
Hypervigilance and overdrive.
Totally. Slept with the rifle right next to the bed. But it gets worse. One night, he sees her again. Not inside. Outside. A silhouette standing in the yard looking straight at him through the living room window.
Oh, man.
His heart just stops, grabs the rifle, runs outside with Bosley. She's still there. Just a dark shape in the moonlight. He doesn't aim at her, but fires warning shots up in the air. Just wants to scare her off.
Did it work?
Yeah. She ran off into the trees, into the darkness. But it didn't make him feel any better. No relief. He feels tormented. He figures maybe she's homeless, mentally ill. Who knows? But why him? That's the question that haunts him.
The lack of a clear motive.
Right. He's still living like that. Perpetual anxiety. Says Bosley is the only reason he feels even remotely safe. Convinced she'll be back. It's that unresolved fear, isn't it? The horror isn't just what happened, it's the dread of it happening again.
Absolutely. The unknown future threat can be more psychologically damaging than the past event itself.
Okay, let's shift gears. Story number 2. We're calling this one the McDonald stalker. This involves a guy working a tough job catering service driver.
Long hours, I bet.
Brutal hours. Always on the road, often super late at night, hauling heavy gear in this big truck. He's either buzzing on caffeine or just completely wiped out. So one night, maybe 2 a.m., driving home, too wired to sleep, but also starving. Typical late night problem, right?
Been there.
He decides, okay, 24/7 McDonald's, easy fix. Pulls into the drive-thru. It's actually kind of busy, surprisingly, for like a Tuesday night. And as he's waiting, he notices this car. Old, beat-up Volkswagen, tinted windows, and it's backed into a parking spot way in the corner of the lot.
Why is that weird?
Because the lobby's closed. It's drive-through only at that hour, so why would anyone be parked there? It just sticks out. Seems odd. He tries to brush it off. Maybe someone's just eating in their car, whatever.
But that little detail flags something in the brain, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Those small inconsistencies.
Exactly. When do those little moments turn into actual alarm bells?
Well, that's our built-in threat detection kicking in. Our brains are pattern-matching machines.
Oh.
Anything that deviates from the norm, a car where it shouldn't be, someone acting strangely gets flagged. It might just be a flicker of unease at first, something you consciously try to ignore.
Right.
But that flicker is important. It's evolution saying, pay attention. Something's not quite right here. It's that first step in recognizing an anomaly.
So he gets his food, doesn't want to go straight home, needs to unwind a bit, decides to hit this nature preserve near his house.
Okay.
It's basically this big forest on a mountain, got a lookout point at the top with city views. During the day you can drive up, but after hours the road's closed to cars, becomes like a walking path to the peak. It was kind of a high school hangout spot for him. Nostalgic. He pulls into the gravel parking area at the bottom, totally empty, pitch black. Before he even kills the engine, headlights pull in right behind him.
Whoa. At 2 a.m.
Yeah, and guess what?
Don't tell me. The Volkswagen.
The exact same beat-up Volkswagen from McDonald's. 100% certain. It parks a little ways off, he shuts off his engine, and just this wave of unease washes over him. What are the odds? Seriously, did they follow him?
That feeling of being followed, especially somewhere isolated,
Yeah.
that's primal fear territory.
Totally. What's going on psychologically when you feel like you're being hunted?
Okay, so the moment your brain confirms I am being followed, especially somewhere isolated like that, it's immediate code red. Fight or flight kicks in, full force.
Adrenaline dump.
Huge adrenaline dump. Your focus narrows like a laser. Senses go on high alert. Every little sound seems magnified. You're assessing threats constantly. And if you feel outnumbered, like maybe he's suspected in a secluded spot, the perceived danger just skyrockets. It's not just physical fear, it's the psychological horror of being targeted, losing control.
He sits there for a minute. Nothing happens. The car just sits there. So his initial panic starts to maybe calm down a tiny bit, thinks, okay, maybe they just wanted a smoke spot too. It's popular for that. But that feeling that something's really off, it won't go away.
Gut feeling.
Right. He doesn't want to be alone out there now. So he FaceTimes his buddy, Sebastian, lives nearby. Amazingly, Sebastian's awake, writing a paper or something, agrees to come hang out. Relief. While waiting, he keeps watching the VW. Still hasn't moved. Sebastian finally pulls in, parks next to him. He feels way better. They get out, start walking up the path towards the lookout. Just as the parking lot disappears from view, he takes one last look back. The Volkswagen's still there, but now all 4 doors open simultaneously.
4 doors. How many people?
4 guys get out. They don't talk. They just stand there kind of looking at each other silently. He said it was super freaky. He nudges Sebastian like, look. Sebastian sees them, but kind of blows it off. Probably just gonna smoke, man. Chill.
Dismissing the gut feeling.
Yeah. But our guy is not chill.
I wouldn't be either. That silent coordination, it's unnerving. It speaks to intention. And dismissing a friend's genuine fear, even if meant well, can be tricky. It creates that dissonance. Your gut screams danger, but logic, or your friend, says it's fine. That tension ramps up the internal stress.
They keep walking up, trying to shake it off, get to the peak. The view is nice, distracting for a minute. They sit on this rock wall, start eating, talking, feeling almost normal again. Almost.
But it doesn't last.
Nope. They hear talking, laughter coming up the path. 3 guys emerge, walking towards them. They're sharing like a blunt or something. One guy looks pretty intimidating, covered in tattoos, nose ring.
Okay.
They're acting friendly enough, offer them a hit, but instead of finding their own spot on the lookout, they walk right up, basically crowding them. And our guy, maybe it was nerves, maybe curiosity, he blurts out this really risky question.
What did he ask?
He goes, hey, what were you guys doing parked at McDonald's earlier?
Oof. Bold move.
Yeah. And instantly, the vibe shifts. The main guy, the one with the nose ring, his smile just drops. Gone. His eyes get narrow. The other 2 guys just stare. Cold expressions.
Yep.
Dead silence. Really uncomfortable, long silence.
Tension ratchets up.
Big time. And that's when it hits him. He counts again in his head. 3 guys here. But there were 4 guys who got out of that car. Where's the 4th guy? He's thinking, we gotta run. He can tell Sebastian's thinking the same thing.
That missing person is a huge red flag.
Huge. Finally, the ringleader speaks. Says he works nights at McDonald's, just got off. He even pulls up his hoodie, shows a McDonald's uniform shirt underneath, claims he comes here every single day after work to smoke with his buddies.
Plausible explanation? Maybe.
Yeah, it offers this tiny moment of calm. Like, okay, maybe Sebastian was right, but something still feels terribly wrong. That gut feeling is screaming. How much should you trust that instinct when there's a logical explanation right in front of you?
In high-stress moments like that, your intuition, that rapid cognition, making judgments on tiny cues, can be incredibly reliable. It's processing things faster than your conscious brain.
Like what?
Like the leader's sudden change in demeanor, the weirdly long silence, the missing 4th person. That absence is a massive inconsistency. Even with the uniform story, if those gut alarms are still blaring, it's telling you the danger hasn't passed. Trusting that instinct is often crucial.
They decide, yeah, time to bail. Politely make excuses, start walking back down the path. They get maybe 20 feet, and Sebastian suddenly stops. Points into the trees just off the path.
What do you see?
Half hidden in the dark. The 4th guy. Standing there, holding something long and dark in his hand. Couldn't tell what.
Oh, no.
The moment the 4th guy sees them looking at him, he starts moving towards the path. Towards them. That's it. They don't wait. They just bolt.
Full sprint down the mountain.
Absolutely frantic. Running for their lives down this dark path. They glance back. Him and the other 3 guys are chasing them. Close behind. Hearts pounding out of their chests. Hearing the footsteps getting closer.
That is pure terror. Being pursued, outnumbered, in the dark, your body just goes into overdrive, survival mode.
Nothing else matters but getting away.
Exactly. Maximum physical exertion, tunnel vision, just desperate escape.
They somehow make it back to the cars, fumble with keys, jump in, slam the doors, peel out of there like bats out of hell. He's too scared to drive straight home, worried they might follow him there. Calls Sebastian. They agree to meet on Sebastian Street around the corner.
Smart thinking.
They pull over, windows down, just breathing heavily, completely in shock. Was it a robbery attempt? Something worse? What just happened? Then Sebastian pulls out his phone, says he managed to sneak a quick picture of the guys up at the lookout.
Wow, under pressure. Good for him.
Right. So the next day, still shaken, he convinces Sebastian they have to go back to that McDonald's, report the employee who supposedly worked there.
Risky, but probably necessary.
They go in, find a younger employee, show him the picture Sebastian took. The kid's eyes go wide, and what he tells them is just chilling. Straight out of a nightmare.
What was it?
The guy in the picture, the ringleader, he hadn't worked there in months. Got fired. Why? For harassing and stalking his ex-girlfriend, who still worked at that McDonald's.
Oh my God.
He had a restraining order out against him. He was violating it, basically camping out in the parking lot, watching her, waiting for her. The 4 guys weren't there for a smoke. They were likely there to potentially confront or abduct the ex-girlfriend. And our guy and Sebastian just stumbled into the middle of it.
That's horrifying. They were completely oblivious bystanders in something incredibly dangerous.
Horrified doesn't even cover it.
Yeah.
He said he just prays the police catch the guy, worries constantly that the stalker might recognize his truck if he ever saw it again. Needless to say, he avoids that McDonald's like the plague. And the nature preserve, never going back there again, ever.
Wow. Okay, so that story, while terrifying, ultimately has an explanation, a why. How does knowing the reason behind such a terrifying encounter affect someone long-term compared to, say, the first story where the motive is totally unknown?
Does it make it better or worse?
It's complex. Finding out the why can provide a certain kind of closure. It removes the ambiguity, which can be terrifying in itself. But the nature of that why stalking potential violence brings its own horror.
Right, knowing you were that close to someone that dangerous.
Exactly. He wasn't the target, but he was adjacent to extreme danger. That knowledge, the fear of being recognized later, potentially becoming involved again, that can lead to persistent anxiety, avoidance behaviors, a real loss of trust in seemingly normal situations. So the known threat, understood in its grim detail, can be just as psychologically damaging, sometimes even more so than the complete unknown, because it confirms the reality of human darkness.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, one more story, our final one for today. The Abandoned Church. This takes place in Ardmore, Pennsylvania. Protagonist is talking about high school days. He and his friends had this slightly risky hobby.
What was that?
Exploring abandoned buildings for the thrill, teenage kicks.
Urban exploration. Always carries risks.
Definitely. Their main spot, their go-to, was this abandoned church in Narberth, nearby town. 198 Elmwood Avenue, he even gives the address. Said it was super creepy just from the outside. Big 8-foot chain link fence around it. Doors all boarded up.
So how'd they get in?
Always climbed the fence and slipped in through the same broken side window. Inside, he says, the first floor wasn't even really a floor anymore, just dirt, with this big hole ripped in the middle, leading down concrete stairs to the basement.
Sounds charming.
Right. That's where they always hung out, down in the basement. 3 rooms down there, apparently. Only one of them had an actual door on it. Abandoned places already feel creepy, but when does that fun thrill turn into actual genuine fear? Especially when something unexpected happens.
Well, places like that are practically designed to trigger fear responses. You've got darkness, decay, silence, isolation, all environmental triggers. Plus, you go in expecting it to be creepy, right?
Yeah, that's part of the appeal, I guess.
Because your brain is already primed to interpret anything ambiguous as potentially threatening. Sometimes there are even things like infrasound, low-frequency sounds we can't consciously hear, but they can physically cause feelings of dread or anxiety. The stage is basically set for fear even before anything happens.
Okay, so this one night, fall evening, 6 of them. The narrator, Luna, Gina, Johnny, Max, and Allie. They're all down in the big main room of the basement, just hanging out, maybe drinking, laughing, possibly had music playing, typical teenage stuff.
You say the scene.
Then, bam, out of absolutely nowhere, a door slams shut, incredibly loud, echoes through the whole basement. Everyone jumps like a foot in the air.
Whoa.
They all freeze, staring at each other, then at the closed door across the room. Nobody was anywhere near it. Almost instantly, Luna, Gina, and Johnny, gone. Didn't hesitate. Scrambled up the stairs and out. Smart move, maybe.
Leaving the narrator, Max, and Allie. They kind of consider themselves the fearless ones of the group, so hearts pounding, but they decide, okay, we got to check this out. Telling themselves it was probably just the wind trying to be brave, that Sudden, loud noise in a place like that. What's the immediate reaction?
Pure startle response. It's hardwired. A sudden, loud, unexplained sound, especially in a confined, creepy place, bypasses rational thought. Instant adrenaline surge, muscles tense, senses on maximum alert.
Primal fear.
Totally. And because the source is unknown, the brain automatically defaults to threat. The fear is way more intense than just, say, a door slamming in your own house. It's amplified by the context.
So the three fearless ones, after standing there in silence for a bit, slowly creep over to the door that slammed. It leads to one of the smaller basement rooms. Push it open. Inside, just a small room. There's an old dresser in there.
Okay.
Mirror on top of the dresser is cracked. And across the cracked glass, red stains, smeared. At first, they think maybe it's just old paint, dried up, but they get closer.
It wasn't dry, not completely. The stains was still kind of sticky, had a sheen to them, meaning whatever made them, it was recent.
Oh, that changes everything. Sticky red stains.
Yeah. Hairs on the back of their necks stand right up. Someone or something had been in that room very, very recently. Then they noticed something else on the dresser. An old black and white photo. Woman in a wedding dress. But she's smiling in this really unsettling way. Just adds to the whole creepy vibe.
Okay, finding something like fresh stains, plus that weird photo. That definitely takes it up a notch. How do specific, disturbing details like that make the fear feel more real?
What's the impact?
It shifts the fear from ambiguous and environmental to concrete and potentially immediate. Old building, spooky sounds, it's one level of fear. Fresh, sticky, red stains. That implies recent activity, possibly violence. It makes the threat feel tangible, present, maybe even still nearby. The photo adds this weird, personal, uncanny element. It grounds the horror in something specific and deeply unsettling, creating a much stronger psychological shock.
Yeah.
Your brain goes from, this place is creepy, to, I am potentially in immediate danger right now.
Yeah, that tracks. They start backing slowly out of the room, totally freaked out, and as they're backing away, they hear another noise. Not the door this time, coming from the big room they just left, where they were all hanging out.
Oh, man. Now it feels like they're not alone down there.
Exactly. That was the final straw. Max and Allie look at each other like, nope, we're done. They grab their stuff and just run. Full tilt, back up the stairs, out the window, scramble over that fence as fast as they can. The narrator's right behind them, jumps the fence, lands on the other side, takes one last look back at the church, at that side window they always used. Yeah. He swears he saw a silhouette, a person, standing in the open window frame, just watching them leave. He says he still hopes, prays, it was just his mind playing tricks. Exhaustion, fear.
That lingering image. How much is real? How much is the brain filling in blanks after intense fear?
Is it possible?
Absolutely. After a traumatic or intensely fearful experience, your brain is on high alert, actively looking for threats. It can easily misinterpret ambiguous shapes, shadows, especially in low light. It's a phenomenon called pareidolia, seeing patterns like faces or figures where there are none.
Like seeing shapes in clouds.
Exactly, but fueled by terror. Whether there was actually someone there or his stressed brain created the image, the effect on him is the same. A vivid, terrifying memory, and that lingering uncertainty, which is itself a form of torment. It really shows how powerfully fear can shape our perception of reality.
He said the group of friends, they never went back to that church again together. He found out later, sometime after high school, the whole building was completely demolished. Gone.
Wiped away.
He still has no clue what really happened that night, what they saw, what made the stains. But he's grateful he wasn't alone. Grateful Max and Allie were there, saw it too. Having witnesses makes it feel less like you imagined it all. He hopes maybe someone listening might know something about that old church's history. 198 Elmwood in Narberth. Feels like there must be some story there. So, 3 stories. The unseen presence in the farmhouse, the stalker at McDonald's, the discovery in the abandoned church. They really highlight how the inexplicable can just show up right at the edges of our normal lives.
They absolutely do. And what's so unsettling is how they mess with our sense of reality, our safety. These are real people's experiences, remember?
Yeah.
They're stark reminders that maybe the world isn't always as straightforward or as safe as we like to think. What histories, what potential terrors are just hidden away in ordinary places.
Waiting to be stumbled upon. It's a chilling thought, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
The mind craves explanations, but sometimes there just aren't any easy answers. And maybe that uncertainty is the most frightening part.
Indeed. Well, we hope these accounts gave you something to think about, maybe kept you on the edge of your seat. If you found these stories as gripping and unsettling as we did, please do us a favor. Like this, share it, and definitely subscribe to the Horror Docs channel. We've got more chilling explorations coming your way.
Definitely subscribe.
Until next time, try to stay safe out there, and maybe leave that abandoned building alone. Some things are better left undisturbed.